Burnouts. I'm your host, Christian Felipe, aka Fired Up Felipe, aka the Chief Burnout. Thank you for tuning in once again. Please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a 5-star rating, comment, share it with your friends, all that. Today, we'll be discussing the Heat versus Knicks game, the NBA Cup game that took place this Friday. The Heat unfortunately came out in a loss. They were down by 10 points or 8 points to end the game. The Knicks had injuries. The Heat went into the game with injuries, so there was some on both sides. Nonetheless, it was a game that we could have won. There was some sloppiness in terms of the rebounding, in terms of the turnovers, in terms of the fouling. So that's stuff that we're hopeful to clean up because we are playing the Knicks again, this time at home in Miami on Monday. And then after that, we will be playing the Golden State Warriors at home. Jimmy Butler's first game back in Miami since leaving us with a toxic situation last year. So that'll be interesting. We are hoping, we don't know yet, that Bam and Hero will be back for those games. It's unlikely that they'll be back for this Monday game. It's possible that they'll be back for that game on Wednesday. We shall see. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about some general Heat salary stuff, some contract discussion and possible trade discussion. Probably not trading for anybody, so don't worry about it. But we're talking about that. We've got a guest of the show, Adrian Izquierdo's on. We're going to be having some fun. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's get right to it. We're coming to you live on a beautiful, well, not live, but it is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, just barely afternoon. We got a good friend of the pod here, Adrian Izquierdo. Adrian, thank you for joining us. How you doing, brother?
Always glad to be here, dude. Let's talk some ball.
Happy to have you. Happy to talk some basketball. Unfortunately, the game we'll be discussing primarily was a loss. I do want to, and I hate to be the guy, but I'm going to be the guy. I've listened to a few pods over the past few days, analyzing the game, talking about the game. And every so often, I keep hearing people say how the Heat lost to the undermanned Knicks. But they forget to mention that the Heat are undermanned. We've just been undermanned throughout the whole season pretty much, but it's I don't want to just blame it on that. This game was winnable. There was a lot of mistakes, specifically with rebounding and fouling that were an issue, but it can't be forgotten that we are missing two of our best players and our whole defense in one guy pretty much.
Again, goes back down to the fact that no one cares about the Heat in the media like that.
No.
I mean, they know that Bam and Tyler are out. I mean, Tyler will be back soon. Hopefully Bam will as well, but they're not interested in that. It's not a storyline for them. For them, the storyline is that, the Knicks don't have Brunson.
Yeah, and OG tweaks his hamstring during the game, which, I mean, whatever. It happens. He was an important player for them.
It's unfortunate.
But a Cat was on a heater, and Landry Shamet had
that was ridiculous.
the best game of his life, possibly.
Yeah, and then what Shamet did was just ridiculous. I mean, power to him. That was a great game, the game of his life. See if he can do it again.
Yeah, I don't know if he will be able to or not. That is a good question. And to your point, I feel like at the very least, people are starting to realize that the Heat are fun this year, because we haven't been a fun team to watch throughout the past, I don't know how many years, in terms of regular season performances. We weren't fun. Now we're fun. The pace is good. As I watch other games, it's so weird because normally watching other games was like a refresher, and watching the Heat was painful because of how slow and stuff it was. But we just play such a fun style of offense, and it even brings out a fun offense from the opponents we're playing against too. Like Cat, and I had this expectation before the game. Prior to this game, Cat was on a really, really cold streak. His numbers were down pretty much everywhere. His 3-point shooting was down, 2-point shooting was down, all of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, of course, undermanned. Cat's going to just have the game of his life. And he did. He had himself quite the game. I will want to call out that I do not know how they missed it. And it happened twice this game, once with Cat, once with I forget who. Cat passed himself the ball and then made a three. It was very clearly they thought someone deflected it, but they didn't.
I saw Spo going crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when you can get away with passing yourself the ball and then making a three. So, I mean, yeah, Cat went 39 points, 13 of 26 from the field, 6 of 14 from three, 7 of 9 from the free throw, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, yeah,
was it 30 points at halftime? or something like that.
I
So
believe it was 30 at halftime. I wrote that down actually
that's
in my
like
notes.
that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
That's
it's a little
unacceptable,
bit
man.
much when people are getting that much. I'll tell you exactly right now. Cat Towns with yeah, Cat has 31 points at halftime.
That's absurd. That's just a no go.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
No, I mean, I did feel bad for Ware when they were playing double bigs because Robinson and Cat, like, they're both huge and both good at what they do. Robinson at rebounding, Cat at scoring, and that's like as much as we want Jovic to be a second big, he just doesn't really play like one. He's not
He
liable to
can
ball.
though.
He can sometimes, but
Jokic referred to it when we played the Nuggets after their game.
yeah,
He said, "I don't try to get into how other teams do things." He's like, "But with our national team, we used him in the post a lot because he plays really well with his back to the basket.
it's
We
scoring. I
don't
feel
have
like
that in this
yeah,
new offense right now,
no.
but you
I
know,
think he does have to learn when he gets a smaller matchup to go to that a bit more and draw the double pass out if you need to. And he does it sometimes, but I feel like
yeah,
he forgets. I kind of hate seeing him dribble pull up from three.
yeah,
I don't want that shot from Jovic. Unless you're like on the heater, just leave that shot alone. Let's do other stuff. I did want to say Wiggins had a pretty bad game too. In terms of shooting, I feel like defensively he was alright. He's always kind of everywhere defensively, but it was very cold from three, 1 of 6. In the first quarter, like I felt like Wiggins was attacking Towns and able to take him off the dribble and doing well at it. And we were getting Towns and Robinson into foul trouble, but then they kind of just stopped. And I wanted to see more of that. I felt like there was room to
yeah,
abuse Towns, bring him out into the perimeter and try to attack him a bit more. And I don't feel like we got enough of that when he's an amazing scorer. You're supposed to take advantage of the fact that he
yeah,
can't really play defense all that well, at least not normally.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I would have, to be honest, I would have really liked to have seen more Nico minutes personally because I also feel like he's not playing well, but I feel that he needs to make himself more of a presence physically on the boards
Yeah.
because he is 6'10", 6'11", whatever he is, and he has put on some muscle. So that is good enough size to fight down low, especially now that we're not playing with Bam. Ware is just getting bullied just because these guys have grown man strength. Ware is still,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and
he's still growing,
Robinson's a machine at rebounding. It's not only Ware that he bullies on this. He's like just one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. So
Exactly.
this was definitely like a standout game for him in terms of offensive rebounding, but Ware in terms of size, Robinson's a big boy. He doesn't really stand a chance.
Yeah, man.
The
We
commentators
need
were
to
talking.
uh we need to just be a little more physical on that side, I feel like. The whole
Yeah.
team.
And they all talked about it post game. They all kind of took their own blame. Even Davion mentioned that sometimes Ware will have position on the rebound and he'll tip it out, but there won't be anybody around to get the tip out. And then it just ends up on the other team's hands. So not just our bigs, but our whole team kind of being aware, especially with how the game is played now and people taking these threes. Uh, Sometimes the rebound's going to go long, and you need to be ready for it if you're a guard, even if you're a smaller guy, to fight for that rebound, to dig in for it. Apparently, I had read this in passing that Tibbs last year, I don't know if this was Tibbs' idea or someone on the coaching staff, but he had the Knicks trained and practicing shots intentionally that would end up in spots that the guards would be able to crash and rebound easier. And just that in general, knowing that people are like shooting with that intention and kind of trying to fight and play for offensive rebounds and the shots you take, means you really got to clean up the defensive rebounding. The Heat are, we're bottom 3 in the league in not just offensive rebounding, but in defensive rebounding. We're just one of the worst teams right now. And even with Bam, that's number ticks up a little bit. Bam is obviously a good rebounder, but it was an issue even in the games we had Bam in. It's just now it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
think it's one of those things that is partly a product of the new offense of trying to get out and run. So everyone's running, not enough
yeah.
people are crashing. So I think this is where Spoelstra will tweak and make, because we went from one extreme to the other. I think this is where Spoelstra will tweak a little bit and adjust and find ways to address those issues, because that just can't keep happening.
Yeah, it may be just delaying when people are running out or only having one guy run off the break immediately. But yeah, that's a good point. That's probably a big reason why. I did want to call out too, like we missed 9 of our free throws. We shot 74% from the free throw line. This ended up being what, a 10-point game, 8-point game. This was kind of
Yeah.
garbage timey. They were running up the score because it was because it's the NBA Cup. But regardless, it's an 8-point game and we missed 9 free throws, 74% from the free throw line. It's not really, it's just not acceptable. It was a cold night. Jaquez himself, he shot 9 of 20 from the field, 4 of 8
Yeah.
from the free throw line, and he's normally can hit those free throws. It just, a lot of
Yeah, it
shots
was one
weren't
of
going
those
in for us.
nights.
Yeah, it happens. You gotta kind of take it on the chin and just be okay with it. Something I did want to call out too, two things. First of all, Udonis Haslem on Prime has been, that whole Prime crew in general is freaking awesome. Jokic even said it
I
after
love it,
one of the
man.
games. Yeah, that crew, it's just good vibes. They give analysis. They don't get
Actual
into like
analysis.
actual game analysis with them on the court, like showing plays and how they're like running, how teams run plays, and not insulting players' character. They're just talking about the game.
They're
It's,
actually watching the game.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually watching
Excuse
the
me.
game and they're good and discussing actions and the way that these teams are moving. And just Blake Griffin is a funny guy and they're all analytical men. But seeing Udonis Haslem up there representing the Heat and him getting like this prime time spot, so cool for him. He did mention that immediately after the game, he texted Kalel saying to get all the film on Mitchell Robinson, watch every offensive rebound he got on you. And Ware texted back, "You're absolutely right. I'm gonna get the film and it won't happen again." So yeah,
Yeah, the last part I'm not so sure about. I
I
mean,
don't know if
but
he. Yeah,
I
it's one
love
game.
the intention.
Yeah, I'm like, it's what, like, it's 2 days. I don't think Ware's going to be able to fix every issue he has in 2 days. I mean, if he does, incredible. But I will say, I mean, the last 2 games he played prior to this were good games for Ware in terms of rebounding. And even this game, it wasn't a bad Ware game. I didn't find myself thinking like that he wasn't even trying. It was just kind of tough out there for him, which it happens. I mean, he had 10 rebounds. He shot 5 of 8. He went 1 of 2 from 3. He played 35 minutes and was only a -3 out there. There were people who were much worse in terms of that. So wasn't his best game, wasn't his worst game. It was a game for him, and he'll be learning. It's
Yeah, one
Spo had a
that
quote.
he'll learn from.
Yeah, Spo had a quote that he was saying how he needs to remind himself to not get too impatient with Ware and with Jovic
Mhm.
because they're so young. But at the same time, he is getting impatient with them because he wants to put the fire under them and make them try to grow and rise to the
Exactly.
occasion. And if anything, Hawkes is the perfect example of why you can't judge these guys too hard, too fast, because everyone was out on Hawkes last year. Everyone was out. And now he's having the best. I mean, it's only his third year, but he's having an amazing comeback year for himself. So, uh, kind of just got to give it time. Jovic is only 22 years old. He's still super young. He's a
We're
baby.
also only 3-4 weeks into the season. That's another thing. Let's see what the ramp up looks like closer to All Star break and post All Star break. Right, that's where the real
And
stuff begins.
And to that point, I checked this. It's a good point. The Heat so far have played a top 5 strength of schedule in terms of the whole league. We've had one of the hardest schedules thus far, and we're still over 500. For the rest of the season, we have a bottom 6 strength of schedule. So obviously, there's still hard games in there. There's going to be some hard stretches
Yeah,
in there, but we've played our toughest part of the season thus far in terms of scheduling, and we're not even healthy, and we're above 500. So the hope
yeah.
is the schedule winds down a bit. Our players are back. I'm also interested to see, to your point. I was just listening to a podcast, Young Man in the Three, with the Bulls on there, Matas and Josh Giddey. They were talking about how in February, March, like a random Tuesday game, it's really hard to get up for it, and sometimes like there's like a lack of energy. If the Heat can keep our pace and keep our energy, I feel like it's going to catch people more off guard in the middle of the season when it's February, it's the week before All-Star break, it's March, it's right after All-Star break. Like, I don't want to run like this, and kind of hope that that wears on them. As long as we can keep it up, that's also a question for
Yeah,
us.
I think that will be the least of our worries, keeping up the energy. I mean, they'll be in shape. I saw a video on Twitter that Norman Powell was talking about how he got his body fat checked on a Friday,
Yeah, I
and then
saw
on
that.
Monday he had to get it checked again because Pat Riley was asking for all the players to get it checked after whatever game it was. Um, and that just sounds like they're in shape. They're gonna be on top of them all season. I'm not worried about that. Especially once we get healthy. I really look forward to seeing how Tyler and Bam and all of that stuff can really come together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he only played 2 minutes out there, but I don't want to see Kashad Johnson minutes. And I'm sorry, Kashad. Like, I'm sure you're a
I
great
agree.
guy, but it's just not against the New York Knicks. Maybe against the Memphis Grizzlies or against the Charlotte Hornets or the Nets. But seeing him try to compete against Mitchell Robinson or Cat, it's just there's that's a I don't know what we're doing here at that point. I mean, I know he's
Well,
digging the
that's
bottom of the
that's
barrel.
vintage Spo small ball to me is what that sounds like.
Well, because
To try to counter the bigs, but
we don't have another big after Ware right now. I mean, we have Golden on on the
that's why I
roster.
feel like we need to use Nico more
Yeah,
because Nico is 6'10", 6'11".
but
Yeah, he
Nico got
doesn't
himself in
necessarily
foul
play
trouble
like
this
one, but
game.
he can.
Yeah, the issue with Nico, he had 5 fouls this game. So I mean, we probably could have just
Not fun either. Yeah.
let him foul out in the fourth quarter and just play him, But he needed to contain himself. And then I think to that extreme, I read this somewhere too, and it makes sense that Ware, knowing that we're limited on our bigs, is playing safe because he can't risk fouling out. If Ware gets in foul trouble while Bam is out, then we're completely
Yeah.
screwed. Then we have nobody because for whatever reason, and I'm sure he has his reasons, Spo does not trust Golden to get in the game and just be a big body. We're not seeing what we want from him just yet, which is okay. I trust Spo, but just a few things before we close out on just this recap of the game. I did want to say that the Knicks are one of the best teams in the league. When we played them at the beginning of the season, they were not playing well. They've since then hit their stride. They have a top 5 point differential in the whole league. We have a top 10. Without Brunson, obviously that's affected. Without OG, that's affected. OG has been the highest plus minus, or the second highest plus, or I'm sorry, the highest plus minus in the whole league with a plus 29.3 on off. I'm sorry, and he was out. So again, those are two of their most important players. We're missing two of ours, but their lineups without OG suffer. Then something I saw was just some of our lineup data. Our most common lineup that we're playing right now without Bam is actually a negative. It's
Yeah.
Mitchell, Powell, Larson, Wiggins, and Ware. They've played 172 possessions. We've definitely had splattering. We've had 811 possessions without Bam so far, and that's 172 of them, so about like a fifth of it. That's a -5 when they're out there. You don't really want to see that, so just got to keep tinkering, got to keep playing, or maybe they just got to adjust together and see where it goes. Hopefully we tick up, but we've had a bottom 3 offensive rebounding rate, and our scoring, even with that lineup, has been, a little bit
Question.
above middle of the pack.
That stat about the -5 with the lineup without Bam, is that throughout the entire season or is that just in the games without Bam?
Throughout the entire season.
Okay, I would want to know what that number, obviously not for right now, what that number looked like before Bam's injury and then since the injury,
Y-
because
Yeah.
maybe that's what's brought it down.
Yeah, I could play it. I don't know how much that lineup would have played before Bam's injury to begin with, just because that's the Larson, Mitchell, Powell altogether. But to your point, yeah, it is a good question because it dictates what units they're playing against when that lineup is out there. But
Yeah,
that is like I believe what our starting lineup has been now without Bam. So it's
got it.
they're getting a lot of
Oh, okay,
minutes.
so that's what it is. It's the starting lineup without
That
Bam.
starting
I
lineup,
thought
yeah.
I thought it could have been like the twos running it together, even in the beginning of the season
Yeah, I mean
when
that
we were
lineup
playing
might have
really
seen
well.
some runway prior to that being the starting lineup, but right now it is the main lineup we're playing when we start the games, and it's right now not working. Which is, it might not be the lineup, it might be just them figuring it out together, it might be the lineup, who knows? Point being, we need Bam. we need Bam and we
Yeah.
need Hero pretty badly. I'm excited to have them both back, and really hoping. I don't know if it's been announced yet if the injury report for this game coming up tomorrow against the Knicks. Uh will Bam play tomorrow? Let's see.
Let's see if How many Knicks players play tomorrow?
Bam is not expected to play tomorrow.
Nope, and neither is Tyler.
Yeah.
But I would be interested to know if, and we'll know tomorrow more or less how it looks closer to tip. But do the Knicks play everyone in Miami after just playing in the League Cup, which matters a little more than the regular season game that would be
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Yeah, and it's like, is Brunson back from injury yet? I feel like they'd want to slow roll that if it's an ankle, and then I
They're
don't know.
also coming to Miami, so
Yeah, Miami on a
you so
weekend.
we saw that with Cleveland last week, right? Where they
Yeah,
played their guys the first game, and then in the second game,
they
they
did
gave
not.
them the night off because I'm going to go ahead and assume they enjoyed Miami for a few days.
I did also want to say, because I felt the same thing, Cleveland so they had a day off between our first game and the second game against them. After that, they had back to back. They had a back to back they were playing. So I don't know if they were doing some little tinkerage and then also enjoying Miami. If we're gonna rest these guys one of the days, we'll rest them when we're in their Miami game and not,
Yeah, when you're spending 3 days in Miami,
yeah, just spend the day out. But yeah, OG will probably still be out, and then Brunson may or may not still be out. So it'll be a similar lineup most likely for both teams in terms of who we're playing. I'd love to continue this curse of home at homes and just split it one at one. I don't want to lose 2 games in a row to the Knicks. Don't want New York to feel that good about themselves. Some questions I do have from this game going into the next. Will UD's text work? Will Ware actually be able to limit some of those offensive rebounds against Robinson? Because yeah, I mean
we'll
Robinson's a
see.
monster. He's just one of the best out there doing it. And I'm hoping. I think there's an easy cleanup, but there were so many sloppy passes that McCall Bridges just picked off and got a fast break off of
Yeah,
them. It's he's waiting. He's reading the passing lanes. He's playing like a cornerback, like a safety out there. He's just watching, just waiting, and he's running the moment
yeah,
he sees a slow pass. So just got to be a little bit more secure with the ball and not
they
expect him to
will.
be. Yeah,
Especially when the Heat have these really bad nights, they usually don't make the same mistakes twice in a row.
yeah, they're gonna
They're
hammer
usually
that
very
in.
good about that, and I think the turnovers, they'll I think they'll be much better this game. The Ware situation, I don't know because you come out too aggressive, and then you've got 2 early fouls because you wanna be physical, and then now look, you're in trouble all game.
Yeah, that's the issue. The
So
the
it's
whistle
like
is a
the balance of the extremes, right? Of just getting bullied and then actually putting up a fight or doing too much.
Yeah. It's what Davion said really. It's on the guards too to help out with those rebounds and not just on Ware because Ware can get a box out, but then after that, who's
Yep.
stepping in to help, and it will Jovic be able to play like a big in terms of that. And
Yeah,
then
it'll
I
always take multiple bodies, and that's why I want to see Nico, who's much. I don't want to say bigger than Ware, but he's probably stronger than Ware. So
yeah, I'd imagine so at this point in his career that he's stronger. Ware
yeah,
still has that wiry frame to him. I mean, he'll always have a wiry frame, but he's very young. Um,
yeah,
I don't know if Powell's going to have another game like he did because holy heck, I mean, just to shout him out, 38 points, 12 of 22 from the field, 8 of 15 from three, 5
yep.
rebounds, a
He's
steal.
holding it down till Tyler comes back.
Yeah, I'm like
I
he
love it.
was shooting that thing out there. So, I mean, I don't know if we can bet on another 38-point Powell game, but
No.
if he can just keep us in the game and just get improvements from everybody else out there, that's really the
That's what
issue.
I was gonna say. I think the Jaime, the Nikos, those guys really need to step up. Even Pele. I mean, let's
Yeah,
get hitting those shots again. Fontecchio hasn't had the best couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks or so,
no,
but he'll get back going. He's probably just got to adjust now. The teams have probably adjusted to him and how we're using
exactly.
him.
Yeah.
But and again, it's a long season. They just got started about a month ago, so they'll get better going forward. Yeah, I think the rest of the guys need to step up
Yeah.
offensively this game, though.
Step up and really just keep attacking the rim, man, and try to get them into foul trouble. Because we ended this game with Mitchell Robinson at 5 fouls and Cat at 3. And Cat's 3 of his fouls were pretty quick. If you just keep attacking at him, if you get those guys out of the game,
Yeah,
they're screwed or they're playing safe. They're not playing the way they are because there's a certain physicality the New York Knicks play with. I mean, that's part of like when they have Miles McBride, they have Mikal Bridges, they have Josh Hart. Like this is how they play basketball. They get in your grill. you have to bet that they're going to foul you a bit. You have to try to draw those fouls and play even more aggressive, match that aggression. Because if not, then they're going to get away with it. Then you're just letting them kind of take that advantage of physicality. Whereas
Yeah.
if you can draw some fouls, you force the hand for them to play a little bit softer. You kind of want to accentuate that. And I want to see Larson do that a bit. Larson's one of the best foul drawers in this game. Powell too. Like, they should be able to do that a bit more. But while we do have that game coming up, the Knicks at Heat on Monday night, there's another game coming up that I think is a little bit more important to us both, more near and dear to our hearts. Wednesday, the Heat are playing the Warriors at home. This will be Jimmy Butler's first game back in Miami. Very interesting. Are we playing a tribute video first and foremost? We have to, right? I think.
Yeah.
Because even though
Mandatory.
him and Pat left on bad terms, I feel like that's just the classy thing to do.
I mean, LeBron left on bad terms.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
LeBron did get us 2 rings.
He did get
Fair.
both.
But Butler took us to the finals twice.
Yeah. And he tried his heart out for us. He definitely
Yeah, there
for
we can't question the all the positives that he brought over the 4 years that he was here, just because it was sour at the end.
yeah. So I imagine we do. I'll imagine I'll cry. That there's some great shots, some great memories in those games from, Butler. But, you know, more than anything, I would love for us to just smash them into the ground. I think this is an important win. It's Wiggins against his old team too, so you kind of want to do that for Wiggs also, because they somewhat
Yep.
disregarded him for Butler. So I think the team is heavily motivated. There's a chance we get Bam and Hero back for this game. There's a chance.
Or one of the 2.
One of the two. We'll need them. We'll definitely need them because
Yeah. Well, again, let's see. This is Golden State's one trip out east
yeah.
to Miami. Who plays, who doesn't play? That'll be interesting.
That I feel like they'll play because of the Butler situation. I think there's a
I
little bit
think
more.
so too. But
Yeah,
does Butler even play?
that's a good question.
As the ultimate troll, I
That would be
wouldn't put it past
hilarious.
him to just not play.
That's actually a funny ass question. He very well could decide I'm not gonna play this game.
He
I'm
might
good.
go play dominoes on Calle Ocho,
Yeah,
Just hang out,
visit
go to his coffee shop and
exactly
do his
visit his
thing.
coffee shop. Yeah, that's a very good question. Well, hopefully he does. I do want to
I
see him
hope so.
play. Yeah,
I want to
I
see all of them play.
Yeah, I want to see it a good game. I want to see Steph Curry play and have a game or try to have a game. Right now, in terms of like where we rank out, the Heat's offense and defense are both ranked at 11th. During our last 2 weeks, our defense has been ranked 18th just in the last 2 weeks. That's, without Bam. Warriors offense is ranked 21st. Their defense is ranked 10th, which is somewhat surprising that their offense is so low right now, and that their defense is really what's carrying the team. Draymond is having himself an incredible defensive season. He was covering the hell out of Wemby a couple games ago. Uh, at the very least, I was looking at this just because I'm traumatized now. They're not a good rebounding team. So we hopefully won't be getting bullied on the offensive boards. They kind of play small, so we can match them and play small if we'd like, or Ware can stay out there and maybe be more aggressive on those boards. They allow what they allow the most of is mid-range shots. They guard the rim well, and they guard threes pretty well. But the mid range, that makes me think hopefully Jaime, Wiggs,
Nico,
Nico, can they get in there and play a little bit in there and make some of those
yep.
shots? I mean, even Powell can hit a midi, but I see him more as like a
Even
driving to
where,
the back.
dude?
Ware
Like,
can hit him too sometimes. I
does
feel like he hasn't
Golden
taken
State have
him.
anyone that can stick with Ware? I mean, Draymond's gonna just be overly physical and loud and try to get in his head.
That's
And
assuming they
if he
have
can
Draymond on
manage to
Ware.
get around that, yeah, that's exactly assuming. Yeah,
Because if they have Draymond on Ware, then they've got somebody else guarding Jaime or Drew. I mean, or Powell. So it's tough. I mean, Draymond can definitely get in Ware's head. There's no
Jimmy's gonna
question.
want Powell or Wiggs. So
That's a good point. Jimmy will likely want to guard Powell or Wiggs, and Jimmy can get some good stuff too. They are good at drawing fouls.
as always,
Jimmy's second in the league with the most free throws drawn per shot. That's excluding centers. So amongst all wings and guards, Jimmy is the second best in the league at drawing fouls, 24.6. So a quarter of his shots he draws a foul on. Uh, Pretty nuts. Paolo is the only
Yeah.
player above him at 25.6. I was looking at this. It's kind of cool. There's two Heat players that are in the top 13, excluding bigs. So no bigs on this list. Could you guess what two Heat players are the best at drawing fouls on their shots?
Jaime.
No, he wasn't one, surprisingly.
Um, man. Uh, Pele.
On per Pella, yeah, Pella's one of the top players. He's in the 98th percentile. He draws 16% of his shots he
Okay.
draws a foul on. Yeah. And then the other one's
And
another starter.
Davion.
No, Norman. Norman
Interesting.
and I've started to notice it more. He's 15.5% of his shots. It's a lot on the threes. He gets fouled on threes pretty often. Like he's pretty tricky with it. He jumps into people. It's some chicanery there, not the most beautiful stuff that people love, but I don't care. If they jump at you, draw the foul. Just get that
If
foul. Three.
everyone's doing it, so can we.
Yeah, so I'm happy with it, but cool to see that. Good thing in general though is the Heat don't really foul that much. I'm sure Jimmy's still going to be able to draw his fouls. It's his
Yeah.
go-to. He did it for us for years and it worked very well. Um, but it is a question on like, will we be able to limit it to some extent? And also the Warriors are old. We play at a really fast pace and their transition D is not awesome. They have a bottom 10 transition defense. In the half court, once they're set, Draymond's a mastermind. Jimmy's a mastermind at defense. They could do it. But if we're out there running, the hope is with how much we run that they won't really be able to keep up. And I think
Or
it
want to keep up.
or want. Yeah, it's a November 17th or middle of November game. You're not trying to risk one of your old guys getting injured running on a fast break against the Heat. So my Moker wine take is that Jaime's going to go off this game. I'm assuming if we're playing fast, whether it's points, whether it's assists, whether it's facilitating the offense, if we're able to play fast and score playing fast, Jaime knows how to work that, and I think that he'll do a good job, especially if Draymond is out there guarding somebody else. Maybe Jimmy will be on Jaime, but can Jimmy run with Jaime full court? In the half court, I know he can,
Of
but
course he can. Of course he can.
full court running?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think in the fourth quarter, but can he do it for 4 quarters?
He won't.
I don't think he will. This isn't the playoffs.
What he's gonna do is he'll probably be on someone like Pele or someone that's not gonna be running all over the place, and
Yeah,
then just help get into the passing lanes, be able to
exactly.
cut things off.
We're gonna need to
Um,
win this game in the fast break. That's how
if
it's
we
gonna
can keep the
happen.
pace, yeah, we'll be all right if we can keep the pace.
Yeah,
I
because
think it's gonna be Nico that goes off this game.
I like that. I like that. I mean, he
I
does.
think that him and Jimmy's relationship is really interesting,
Yeah,
since the very beginning, and I think the way that he's been playing, he's due. Like,
he
he's
is due.
really due for one of these crazy breakout games like he had last week, or the week before, whichever one it was, but I think it's gonna be him in that game just because I'm not sure the Warriors can match up.
Do you think? Uh, do you think that after the game, Jimmy daps up our team and our coaches? Like, is there gonna be love there?
Um, I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
would think so.
I think so too. But it's weird, right? That we're not sure. Like, I feel like they should.
Maybe in the back if he doesn't do it in the court. I think it'll also a lot have to do with if he's playing or not, if he chooses to play.
Yeah.
Um, if Bam is Bam playing, is Tyler playing? Because if Bam's playing and he's not playing, like I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. I would like to see it though, just
I
because I think his issues were with people way above the players and just the internal staff, even though we've heard all the different stories that have come out, allegedly,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
him
So
being just a grade A asshole while he was there last season.
he definitely soured
Mhm.
things, but I wonder if with distance that they're feeling a little bit better and like they're still
Exactly.
I hope that it's at least friendly. I did want to call out too that while the Warriors are really good at preventing shots at the rim, when players do get to the rim, they shoot 70.4% against them. So whenever someone leaks out, whenever someone does make an at rim shot against the Warriors,
Sounds
it
like
go
Jaime.
it goes in. So that they're good at preventing it, which speaks to their half court defense to some extent. But
Yeah.
if you can get to the rim, Jaime, Ware, I'm hoping for some Ware lobs this game. I'm hoping for some Ware lobs every game. I feel like it definitely showing that we don't have like a great passer on this team right now, because there's some times where he should be able to get easier lobs. And they're still testing out. There's some passes that either go too high, that either go too low. So I think they need to figure that out a little bit more with Ware to get him those easy points. I mean, to get us easy points, what's easier than like an
Yeah.
alley-oop at the rim with your 7'1" guy?
Yeah. I think that players are also just very accustomed to the alley oop game and the 2-on-2s and the pick and roll situations, and all of those different actions. And since we don't really run those, a lot of them are happening on fast breaks or off script back cuts and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or someone driving to the basket and then a rotation man coming over and leaving Ware open. And it's all happening very quickly rather than in a slow down pick and roll game where everything is much more comfortable for these guys. But again, I think that's just something that we'll get better at as the season goes on.
And I did want to call this out too. I mean, I think people, this isn't news to anyone, but it was somewhat news, or a reminder to me. Draymond, while he's only 6'6", obviously he's guarded centers his whole career. He's great at it. His wingspan is 7'1". Like,
Yep.
this guy's arms are just insane in terms of being able to protect the paint, being able to protect. Like, I was looking at it specifically because I wanted to see what Ware was, and Ware's 7'1" with a wingspan of 7'4", 7'4.5". So, I mean, it's up there. He's a gigantic human being. But the fact that Draymond's arms are so long, that height advantage that Ware has on him, that Wemby had on him, it it's deceptive because of how
Yeah.
good Draymond is, how smart he is, and then also just his body.
He
Physically,
still
it's
got bullied.
yeah. He did. He did get bullied. There was that dunk, which the refs waved off. Like, I'm not the first person to say this, but it's the rule of cool, man. If something looks really good, just let it happen. It
Yeah, just let it ride.
just let
Make
it
it up
ride.
later.
This is a sport. Like, it's for fun. It's entertainment. This isn't the finals. Like, that, you gotta let that dunk count.
It's
But
a regular season game in November.
yeah, like,
Come on.
you gotta let that dunk count. I do. I mean, this is unrelated completely, but that clip, Wemby dunking on him and then getting in his face and yelling. God, the league is so effed. Like, we're screwed, man. We're
Yep.
screwed. That guy
This
is
guy's an alien.
an alien who, with all the right, like, the right balance of like yin and yang. He's calm, but also he can get hype and get in your face. It's just what I would do to have that guy on my team. Oh man. Well, before
Look
we
at what
move
the
on,
Spurs had to do to their team to get him.
that's true. That's true. They had to miss the playoffs for the first time like ever and be pretty bad, but now they have him. Now they have Castle. They got Dylan Harper. They got a team. They got a roster. Still not. I mean, I expect them to make the playoffs this year. Don't expect them to go too far. It's still, they're too
They're
young. I
young.
think
Yeah, they'll
they're too
learn.
young. Uh, do you have any milk or wine takes you want to put out into the air before we move on from this game? You got Jovic popping off. That's your
That's
that's
my
you're hoping
pick
for,
this week.
that's your pick. All right, so we'll hope on that. We're gonna cut right here, or pretend to cut right here, and then we're gonna move on to just some general kind of around the league / contract stuff that I was looking at, because I wanted to start getting ready to hurt my heart, but we'll do that right after this. Alrighty, we're back. So, I'm having a great time, as most Heat fans are, with watching this team. How could we not? And I'm continuously telling myself, just wait till we get healthy. It's gonna be awesome. But then I started looking ahead and thinking ahead. I'm like, can we keep this roster? Like, does this roster make sense? Like, in terms of money, are we able to pay for all these guys? Because Powell is going to be looking to get an extension on his contract. Hero, we still have him under contract for one more year, but his extension is going to be wanting to come up soon. Wiggins, we have him for one more year, but also going to be looking for an extension soon. So there's a lot of variables coming up. I mean, Jaime is going to be coming up even like in a year or two as well. There's a lot that's in the mix. So as I was looking at this, thankfully, I didn't realize, because of how this all worked. we retained Powell's bird rights when we traded for him, so we're able to like have some flexibility with the cap if we were to re-sign him. He's only eligible for a 4-year, $128 million extension. That's 32.1 per year. Uh, I know that sounds like a huge number, but like for instance, Tyler's up
Welcome to
for a
today's NBA.
yeah, like Tyler's extension could be 3 years, 50 million a year. Like he's not going to get that, but that's what he's eligible for. Whereas where Powell's max eligibility is 32 per year.
Yeah.
So that gave me some relief because I'm thinking if we could just be a little bit flexible with him, if he's a little bit flexible with us, maybe we are a little under that, or front loaded a bit so that the back end, when maybe Tyler's extension kicks in, when some of these other players are going to be needing extensions, his money is dropping down while theirs is starting to kick in. That did give me a bit of hope. The Heat are projected to be 60 million below the second apron next summer, so we'll have the money to re-sign Powell. We'll have the money to keep him for this next year if we want to, if we so choose, which I mean, let's hear from you, but like, can you imagine a world in which we like traded Powell or let him leave in free
No.
agency? It's crazy,
No,
right? That it's
and I don't think he wants to leave either.
yeah, it's
All
just weird
he's
because it's
done
only
is
been a
just talk
couple
about
games.
how long he's wanted to
Yeah,
come to Miami. So, I think there's gonna be flexibility there. I do think we are gonna pay Tyler. It's gonna be over 40 mil a year, but we will pay Tyler
I think so too.
because him and Bam are our best players, and it is what it is. I think the odd man out is Wiggs.
Yeah,
In the end,
which thankfully we can wait a little while on that. His contract isn't up until after the 2027 season, I believe. Let me just
yeah.
confirm that.
But
Um,
more than likely, he'll end up being a piece that ends up having to get moved if we end up deciding to make any big moves within the next 2 years. I don't think we will because I do think that they do want to see what this team has with this new offense when healthy and all of that good stuff.
yeah,
Um,
I could also imagine, and this is me just maybe having some hopium because I'm a big Wiggins fan, and I think honestly he's been good for the team. I think he's been a good vet.
I agree. I think he
He'll
wants
be
to stay too.
he'll be going into his 32, like age 32 season. If we give him a long contract at a reasonable rate, I can't imagine he'd be too upset by that. Like he doesn't seem to me like someone who's going to be looking for a max from somebody. Nor do I think that there's going to be
I
maxes out
agree.
there available for him. Really, like, I mean, he might get used in a trade because of that salary and because he's expiring. So I'm not foregoing that. I mean, even Tyler, for the right type of trade, could be probably made available based on how Norm is playing. I'm not itching for it, but I'm not discounting it that if there's a player like
Throw it in the garbage. It's not happening.
no, I mean, I don't. I honestly, if I'm taking bets, I'm betting we don't trade Tyler for anybody. At least not in the next 2 years. I don't see it. But if you're talking like a Giannis out there, you're not saying like, no, we're not trading Tyler. It's like, well, we'll figure it out. Well, I think the only player at that point who's unavailable is Bam. I think that's the
Yeah.
only name on this roster that the Heat would 100% never trade. I mean, I guess technically you can trade your coaches, and we would 1000% never trade Spoelstra. But
He's not going anywhere.
he's not going anywhere. He's home. Bam's not going anywhere, and I don't think Tyler's going anywhere. But yeah, I was looking at it, and the first apron caps out at 220 million in 2027. If we both paid Powell and Hero, so if we gave Tyler 40 and we gave Powell a full amount, 32 a year, we'd be at 155 million. So 65 under the first apron. That's with only 7 players on the roster. That's with Tyler, Powell, Nico, Bam, Cass, and Drew. Uh, so Jaime, Wiggs, Davion, those extensions would have to be playing into that 65 million under the first apron. We have all their bird rights, so we could even go over the first apron if we wanted to for all those players. So that did give me some kind of hope because if you're already 65 million under, like, I mean, unless Jaime continues to go up and up, I don't know what his contract is going to command. That's too soon to be told. Davion will probably be in the similar range of what he's at right now. I can't imagine him jumping too much ahead of that. And then Wiggs is a question mark, obviously. But where financially speaking, I was kind of telling myself that we wouldn't be able to keep this roster if we wanted to, but it seems like we can if we want to, if that's what ends
If
up
we want
happening.
to, we can, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we want to make a massive change, we'll still be able to do that.
And then that led me to my next train of thinking because, like, I was like, should we be looking at a win now trade? Is it worth it? Like, it's easy to start suckered in when you're having so much fun and the season's going so well and the East looks wide open. And then I start thinking to myself, is it even worth it? with how good Oklahoma City looks, with how good the Nuggets looks, to really be trying to push all our chips in this year? Does it make
Yeah,
more
we're not.
sense? Yeah, right. I think everyone needs to
You
practice
have to.
patience. Yeah, it's like to
I'm not
me,
sure there's anyone available.
anyone available that's worth it. So I was going through the names like
Yeah.
Larry Markkinen, I think would be a wonderful fit on this roster, wonderful. But the salary is up there. It's expensive, and you'd kind of having to decide that you're trading Tyler and something else for him. He makes 46 million a year.
Yeah,
Going
and I don't think we're trading Tyler for him.
Yeah. So it's a question mark in terms of that. There's the jaw question, which
Ja can
I
stay
mean,
in Memphis. Keep that shit away from Miami.
yeah, I'm like, I just don't think we're a cultural fit. And I do, it's funny because
He
I've heard some people say that, like, if he does change teams, I bet all of a sudden his bounce is going to be back and he's going to be playing like an all-star again. And maybe, right? Maybe. And maybe we'd miss out. But I don't, I just don't want him on the team. I don't know. I'm happier with Tyler.
Me too. I think that obviously with the Mike Miller connection, being his agent and Mike Miller's connections down here, I think it's an obvious choice. If he wanted to go somewhere, Mike would probably try to sell him on coming down here, especially because this would be what he needs to get back to his best level. But I'm just not sure that it's mutually beneficial to both sides. I think is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't think so personally,
Oh,
because of what we would have to give up.
that to your point, because I'm like, I remembered reading a headline about this. Jaw left Mike Miller's agency.
Oh, he did? When?
Yeah. This was like 5 months ago. So this off
No.
season.
Yet.
Yeah.
In-
Uh, he's so I mean, I think even that kind of lessens the chances that he would
Yeah.
be
Yeah, because they're
coming.
gonna ask Mike what happened, and you know,
If Mike has some questions about it, then yeah. Yeah,
yeah, that is
I think he
uh,
started his own agency,
hmm.
which is questionable. Yeah. But regardless, not looking at that. For a while I was on the Trey Young wagon, like trading Hero for Young because of the playmaking that Young provides. But the defense is, I mean, it's even worse than Heroes,
Yeah.
probably.
If you play zero defense, you will not play on the Heat.
Yeah. And he's also
That's like
looking for an extension, and he makes more money than Hero already. I don't think he's looking for 40 million. He's looking for,
juice is not worth the squeeze with Trey Young or any of
yeah.
those players. That's why I just really don't think, unless you can somehow figure out how you're gonna get Devin Booker off Phoenix,
But
like
he's making 70.
exactly. But who else are we talking about moving for?
Yeah.
Um, OKC, if they somehow can't pay one of their guys down the line,
Oh, they
maybe
won't in a couple years. Some of those guys are going to be fleeing, you
of
know,
course. So maybe then you make a move on some guys. But again, are they going
not
to
this
cost you
year.
Tyler? Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there's anybody in the market that's worth that right now. The Giannis thing is just a lot of noise.
It's noise, and they're playing well. So I don't think that's going anywhere
It's
anytime
just
soon.
it's noise. They signed his other brother. Like, listen, he is perfectly fine in Milwaukee. He's making noise because he wants them to make more of an effort to make the team better. Fair to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wants to leave there either.
If he does, it'll be an off-season thing. I don't think it's going to be mid-season. I don't see that in him.
No, that'd be too much of a headache.
Yeah, unless they were terrible. If they started the season terrible, then I could have imagined him wanting to ask out. But they're playing all right. They're going to make the playoffs. He's going to want to see what he does in the playoffs. And if I'm Giannis, I'm thinking I can beat anybody. Just get me there. So,
Yeah.
and you can't really blame him for thinking that way either. He's Giannis. And then the only other name that I've been seeing floated around, I mean, obviously it's getting floated around right now, is Anthony Davis.
Hmm.
I,
He can
the thing
keep
is,
his injury prone self in Dallas.
yeah, I'm like, there's Anthony Davis in theory, right? Like, you promise me he won't get injured. You promise me we're going to get him healthy for the playoffs. Well, shit, sign me up. Anthony Davis and Bam, that's an unstoppable paint defense, but you can't promise me that. Cooper Flag has already played more games as a Maverick than Anthony Davis has.
Anthony Davis falls every other play.
He's
Whether
made
it's
of
on
glass.
offense or defense, every other possession, he's on the ground grabbing something because he's hurt. Like there's just don't it's not worth it. This guy just
Yeah.
got fired because he made the dumbest trade of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. No justification for that trade. Just literally none. Yeah, and Anthony Davis is already 32, which is younger than I thought, but just his body's not really been holding up. Yeah, I know he's like Team USA teammates with Bam, and Spo coached him in Team USA. I wouldn't make
For
that
that,
trade.
go get Zion.
Yeah, I'd rather take a risk on Zion. I'd rather take a flyer on Zion than Anthony Davis, to be honest with you. Than
Just because of the
that's
age and just the athleticism still there,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
on a
I really
dying team.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I'd rather us like kind of wait it out and figure out what's happening with Jovic, figure out what's happening with Ware, with Jaquez. Is this real? Is he going to continue to get better? We still haven't seen Cass yet, and that's not to say he's going to be bad. This is how the Heat do. We slow rolled our guys
Yeah.
out. Look at Reed Shepard on the Rockets right now. He's having a really good second year. He couldn't get
Yeah.
any minutes his first year because they weren't going to play him until he was a good defender, and now he's
Bam.
playing well.
Bam said that he wanted to fight Spo on multiple occasions his rookie year because he wouldn't play him.
Yeah, it's like Spo is not going to play you until you earn those minutes. Cass just got assigned to actually play on our G League team, so
Good. So he can get minutes. He can
get
just play
playing
some ball.
time. Yeah, I'm excited that
Also,
he'll.
Drew Smith is playing really well, and that is one of Spoelstra's guys that he really believes in. And I think it's his story is so great for that locker room that
Yeah,
it like resembles what the Heat are all about. So
it's very Heat
he's
culture.
always gonna have that chance until he loses it himself. And
Yeah,
he's done well enough to keep it.
yeah, that's a good point. To your point, if Pella, if Drew, if even Simone were playing worse, I would imagine that Spo would maybe play with some cast minutes, but all those guys have been good for us, and they're all vets. They're probably more trustworthy than Cass is at his young age, and none
Who's
of this is
coming off an injury
who's coming off an injury, and none of this is an insult on Cass.
at all.
Yeah, that like there's no, you can't make any assumption on these guys if they haven't played yet. I mean, you can't even make assumptions on these guys when they do play if they're only a first year, second year player. You see different guys hit different strides at different times. It really like growth is not linear for any of these players. And I think that we should all still be somewhat excited at him as a prospect, as a playmaker, as a type of player we haven't really had on this team in a long time.
Yeah.
Um, because look, either way, guys, OKC, I'm just putting in my chips in, dude. They're winning the championship this year. I went ahead and I've watched. I mean, they're my favorite team other than the Heat. Heat obviously are my favorite team. I'm from Miami, but they're my favorite team. I've watched 4 or 5 of their games this season, trying not to only watch OKC games and Heat games, but I watched them play the Warriors to see how they defended Steph because Steph had a terrible game against them. They've just got guys, man. Their whole roster is like incredible defenders who all know their role. They all play for each other. They all look like they're having fun. They can all shoot the three. They play defense. Just when this guy, AJ Mitchell, who's having one of the best seasons of his life right now, he was on their roster last year. He just didn't get playing time because they have other guys who are even better at the guard spot. And to your point, like this is one of those guys that maybe in a year or two when his time's up, he's going to be looking for a max contract or a more expensive contract from another team because they might not have the money to pay him. And he's
Yeah.
going out there and balling. They're still not healthy. They're still not healthy. And they are by far the best team in the league.
Yeah.
It's it's chalked. It's chalked. I saw this stat
Yeah, you
earlier
think
today.
so?
It, do you know who has the most points in the season so far?
It can be
SG
them, but
S,
we're also
SG
like 4 weeks in, man.
SGA has 456 points so far this season. Do you know who has the second most points this season? SGA, excluding his fourth quarters, has 404 points. Then the next highest player is Tyrese Maxey at 384. This guy, he's gotten better this year. He's better than he
Yeah.
was last. He's better than he was last year. Chet is better than he was last year. J Dub's gonna come back from injury and be great because that guy's a workhorse. He's nonstop. Hardenstein, look, I'm Cat is playing well for the Knicks. They literally just beat us with Cat. I think them losing Hardenstein and DiVincenzo to me is not a trade I would have made. I I think they underrated how important those guys were.
Yeah.
Hardenstein is playing great for OKC. Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe. Like
Yeah,
this
man.
whole roster is just nuts. And then Jokic is having an even better year. Jokic is playing.
That's where I think that's a wild card because once you get into a slowed down 7-game series, they took him 7.
Yeah. With injuries
Denver
on
made
both
him sweat.
sides. So it equals out. You know, Michael Porter
Yeah,
Jr. was playing with
Denver
one
really
arm.
made him sweat.
Yeah.
Denver,
It's
if they
between
come
them two
back
to me.
better,
Yeah. It's between them two because Jokic is the best player in basketball right now. There's no
yeah,
I'm the biggest SGA guy out there. He might win another MVP based on team record and based on how like he is playing amazing as well. He's playing he's one of the best players right now in the NBA in terms of how he plays, but there's no one better than at basketball than Jokic right now. He makes basketball look silly. Like
yeah, he makes it
I
look.
don't he makes it look so simple. He can score from everywhere. Um I his shot accuracy from the mid range, he shoots 72%. At the rim, he shoots 83%. From three, 42%.
And he
Like,
always makes the right pass.
and he always makes, and he doesn't force anything. He doesn't force anything. He just had a 50 something point outing against the Clippers. Ty Lue had a hilarious quote. He said, "We wanted to make Jokic score. We didn't think he would score that much."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like, what do you do against them? What do you do? I
Hope he has an off night. Hope his horses had a bad week.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that can affect his mental is horses. And then on a separate note, completely unrelated, but this is also, I mean, somewhat related, but very funny. Did you see the clip of the Morris twins saying they could take the Jokic brothers in a
Yeah,
fight?
that was stupid. That's pride. That's pride. Don't do that to yourself.
Okay, so
Don't do that to yourself.
I wanted
That's
to get
just
your take.
pride.
Yeah, like I don't care how big you are, dude. Those Jokic brothers, they've seen some shit.
Not
They're,
only that, like, okay, so the Morris twins, yeah, they're taller, but these are like
I don't think they're taller than the
big
Jokic
Eastern
brothers.
European dudes. Like, don't play yourself. They might be like 6'4". They might be shorter than the Morris twins, but they're probably like 30, 40 pounds heavier and of muscle. So it's probably not the best idea.
No, the Jokic, yeah, Jokic's brother is 6'9". So they're big too.
Ah, nah,
Yeah.
yeah, nah, man. Come on. That's just
Yeah, I'm
pride.
like,
Pride.
I'm gonna put a. There's a. They just look like they're built of brick. I just don't feel. I feel like even if you think you could win the fight, one of like they won't quit. You guys will both die. They're just those.
It's different. Yeah, it's the twins wouldn't stand a chance.
No, that's
That's just pride and ego.
But
It's okay though.
how much money would you pay to watch this on pay per view? The mismatch was talking about this, Chris Vernon and Jacoby, and they were Jacoby said he'd pay I think like $400 and just share it with people at his crib. That would be a good pay per view fight with celebrity boxing being a thing now.
But it would have to be like what, like a tag team
Attack,
WWE like sort of
yeah,
situation.
it'd have to be. Yeah,
But
I
isn't
don't
it
want to
like
see two one
3
on
of the
ones.
Jokic brothers
Three
and only
including
2
Jokic
more?
himself. Three including
Oh,
Jokic
okay. So
himself. So
yeah, the
not.
2 on, yeah, a little
Yeah,
tag team action.
yeah. I would pay some money for that to watch, have some beers at the crib. That's a good night. That's a
That
good
might
night.
get crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Morris twins are just, you could tell one of them was like, why are we even saying this? Like, one of them was really hyping it up. I'm not going to know which Morris twin was which in the middle of the, like, they're twins. But, yeah, I don't see that happening. Yeah, just, these guys, man, it's tough. I do think it's a 2-horse race. And I think with the Rockets peeking their head in as being a third, it's too soon
As
to
the
say.
young bucks.
As the young Bucks with KD just being KD, he looks happy. He's got a coach that he trusts. You know, KD's not gonna
Ime
do any
man.
sly shit or
I think
mistrust when it
the
comes to
team.
Ime. Yeah, Ime is a real coach. That's a legit guy over there. So
I
I
want
just
to
don't think
know
there's really a point.
something to look up for later is has Spoelstra named his staff for USAB yet? I want to
I
see
don't think
what
he
that looks
has.
like because it's not normally the staff that you carry with you on your actual team. You know
Yeah,
how
yeah, you're right.
Spoelstra
Because
was
it's
the main
other.
assistant,
It'll
the
be other head
OKC
coaches from
coach
the
was an
league.
assistant, Ty Lue was an assistant under Kerr. So I want to know if Spoelstra's named his assistants, because obviously it's going to be those Ty Lue guys, the guy from OKC. I would love Ime in there just because that way you have
Yeah,
two defensive
I wonder if he'll get
psychopaths running.
Missoula
Yeah, Missoula
Maz-
if you want to.
if you want a psychopath, or I mean, the guy from OKC, Dagnall, I think probably deserves a
Yeah,
call
but
up for what he
Spoelstra
can.
ran all the defense for them.
That's
Kerr,
true.
Kerr and those guys all mainly focused on the offense, and then Ty Lue and Spo really ran the defense.
Yeah, so maybe you want a more like offensive minded coach in there to help run it. So
Yeah,
that'll
well,
be
that's
cool.
probably why the OKC coach is still going to be on staff.
Yeah, I mean he's got both. That's Dagnall's a good coach, man. He
Of
to be able to
course.
do what he does, like you
That
can
and
have
the
all the talent in
ability
the
to
world.
develop all that talent, man.
That's what I mean. And I'm dude, like, the Heat do this to some extent too, but Sam Presti has made it clear when he drafts on character. Like to him, that's the most important thing in a draft. Is not just your ability, but the type of person you are. And it just goes to
Yeah.
show like all these guys, doesn't matter if they get minutes or not, they all just put in the work. They're all ready for their number to be called. And when they show up, they ball out. He's, they're going to build him a statue without a doubt. Like you got to build a, you got to build a statue for him. But, I think that's all I got on my list. Is there anything you want to end off on before we get out of here?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah, I do want to say also for the haters too, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has the most games this season with 30 points and 5 or fewer free throw attempts. So just stop pocket watching the random game on a Wednesday night where he has 15 free throws and realize that just appreciate basketball, man. Just appreciate
Shots fired.
basketball. I'm
They're
just
playing some good ball.
they play good ball, man. This guy gets to his spot in the mid range. Like we all want old school basketball, right? This is old school basketball. This is a guy who lives in the mid
Yeah.
range, and just let's just watch it, dude. Like I feel like people wouldn't have enjoyed watching Prime Wade or Prime Kobe or Prime Jordan if this is what they were worried about, because those guys were drawing fouls too.
Yeah,
That's like
it's what saved us in the finals.
yeah. I'm like what? Don't want to look at those free throw lines from Wade in the '06 finals. You'll
There's a reason why he averaged 35.
yeah. It's I mean they were fouling him. They were fouling him, but
They were.
there's a
Uh,
there's a common saying: if they reach, you teach. That's
Exactly.
yeah. So thank you, Adrian. Thank you for joining us. I'll let you get to watching some fantasy football or some real football for your fantasy football. And yeah, hopefully the Heat win both these next two games. That would be wonderful, truly.
That'll be ideal. Always happy to be on, man. And as always, go Heat.